Sorry, little kitty. You're not masterpiece enough for me anymore. It's not me. It's you. Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm doing what is becoming more increasingly rare, unfortunately, a Transformers review. It's actually what I want on my channel to be about. I feel like boxes are slowly taking over my life. What I have here is MMC's Ocular Max Jaguar, also known as MP Ravage. I know what you're saying, isn't there already an MP Ravage? It came with Soundwave, or in one of those KO boxes that everyone else got. Yes, that's true, we got an MP and he's scaled to fit in the MP Soundwave's chest, and that's great. But you know what? When he's side by side, he's just so tiny. He doesn't scale well with the rest of your bots, because there was like a size manipulation thing that Transformers were famous for. You know, how Megatron became a little gun, but he was like a full-on robot. How Soundwave himself became like a tiny tape deck and then a big robot. So there's like size stuff, and that's hard to do in a toy. So what MMC has done is create an actual tape-sized tape instead of a micro cassette. This is legitimately an MP Ravage. But before we get into the figure, let's get into the box. It's upside down. The only thing I have to say about this box is that it's very plain. This is worse than KO boxes I've seen, honestly. What's wrong, MMC? You just didn't want to splurge on putting anything on the brown box you sent us at all? What comes in the box is this. This is exactly how it comes, in an awesome cassette plastic tape, and it opens up just like an 80s cassette does, and it pulls right out. Now you might notice that mine looks maybe a little different from yours if you haven't gotten the Reprolabel set. That's because I got the Reprolabel set. This is just as much a review of those as it is about the figure itself, because I would not have even bought this figure had I not seen the Reprolabel set. The Reprolabel set, I'm tired of saying Reprolabel set. The sticker set for this by Reprolabels, that's not any better. They make it look exactly like a tape. Instead of just being a black tape-shaped thing, this is exactly what a tape should look like. It changed the figure so drastically for me that I actually bought the figure because I wanted the sticker set from Reprolabel. As you can see, we have front and back, and it even is labeled A and B. If you don't remember, or if you're too young, tapes went on both sides, and you stuck it in the tape player, and when a song came on the radio you wanted to record, you hit record just in time to stop from the previous song or the DJ talking, unless he talks over the song, and that was so annoying. Anyway, you guys remember making mixtapes, unless you're younger than 30. I remember making mixtapes. So this is very nostalgic for me. This is much bigger than the MP Ravage that we got from the Soundwave, and it's much bigger than the G1. This is actually tape size, and it's hefty. There's a lot of die cast in this. You can feel it. I honestly, due to the nature of how this thing works, could not tell you where in this there's die cast, but there's definitely die cast in this. Before we get too much into the figure, inside here, where the lyrics of the tape would be, is the instructions, and that's just kind of cool. We also get the sort of kind of normal third-party stat thing that comes in there. It's not the hard plastic that I'm used to getting from third parties. It's very flimsy cardboard. Also, one last thing before we get into the actual figure. Inside the box is styrofoam, which is kind of weird for MMC. But what I want to point out is this. These are the instructions for how to unhinge his legs from his upper arm pieces. Follow this, because I didn't the first 3 or 4 times I transformed it, and I'm pretty sure I kind of slightly ruined it by pulling it apart instead of sliding it out like you're supposed to. It's not a snap, it's a slide. It still fits together fine, but it's not as tight as it used to be. So heed these instructions, please. You'll thank me. So there's not much to go into on the alt mode here. It's a tape. It even has the little spokes inside. I don't think they move, and I don't have a pencil to stick in there and rewind. You older people, you know what I'm talking about. The sticker set was a pleasure to put on. It was fun to see it slowly transform into an actual tape by putting them on, both the front and the back. None of the stickers were really too hard to get on. There is a warning on Reprolabels' site about checking these parts of the transformation to see if you have clearance on the stickers. I didn't do that, and I regret it. I actually had to cut part of the stickers to make sure I had clearance, because moving this up as part of transformation was peeling the sticker back naturally. So just make sure you've got clearance when putting them on, or make the proper incisions if you kind of screw it up like I did. But other than that, it doesn't really affect it overall, so I'm not too upset about it. And now that we have these pieces up, I guess I'm just gonna start the transformation. Now, I've been trying to get away from doing actual transformations on camera because it doesn't really work this style instead of, you know, the talking hand style. I just don't like the talking hands. Mad respect for the people that do talking hands videos. I just can't. I can't do it. But I do kind of want to go over here because the transformation doesn't take long, and I've done it like, honestly, 10 or 15 times, and I still don't really understand how it works. I mostly just fiddle around with it until it's a cat shape. I've followed the instructions, I've tried, I've watched videos, like I can do it, but I still don't understand why. Both sides, these little pieces come up. Second thing we're gonna do is flip out the tail and flip out the head. So we've got sort of a rectangle with a cat head and a tail coming up. Next, we're going to unhinge the front legs from the back, and you see how I pulled them out rather than pulling them apart? You want to do that. We're going to just kind of straighten these things out. So we've got sort of a mess going on right here, and everything's a little loose and floppy. We're going to go ahead and take the little missile thigh pieces, I guess, and join them together. And then we're going to kind of stretch out the back legs here just to kind of open things up a little bit. Now, I've learned you kind of have to move the missiles up, forward. Oh, that noise. And then that creates the joint that lets these legs kind of come down like this. And it took me a while to figure that out, mostly because I'm dumb. This is the part that's weird because through some sort of mechanism on this, everything just kind of turns on its side and joins in the middle, and you gotta make sure you've got things facing up the right way, and before you know it, you have a vague cat shape here. And there it is. I honestly, you just kind of unfold and fold it in. That's the best I can really tell you, honestly. It's weird. This is the weirdest transformer I've ever owned because it doesn't peg together anywhere. It pegs together somewhat when it's in tape mode, but in the cat mode, everything's just kind of loosey-goosey. Everything just kind of moves. Shoulder, hips, like nothing pegs in solidly, and that's kind of cool, mostly because it gives him a lot of really great, intriguing articulation that you wouldn't get if, say, his shoulders pegged in together, where you know how a cat can kind of put one shoulder up higher than the other. It gives it really kind of a weird and neat anatomical correctness that a cat would have. So what we're left here after we've unfolded it is a highly posable, super detailed, very nice looking Jaguar / Panther. Fun fact about Panthers, they don't exist. I know it's weird, right? If you've ever seen a Panther, what it probably is just a black mountain lion or jaguar or cougar, which is also a mountain lion. But there's no such thing as an actual panther. Look it up. His legs move all kinds of ways. He has double jointed arms. He has tilts on his little paws. Same thing with the back, all the way around, ball joints, somewhat of a tilt, universal joint kind of things. And then his shoulders move independently of each other, and then he also has sort of a back twist. It does, like all kinds of ways. It's crazy the kind of movement you can get out of this. Even his neck has 2 hinges, which gives you some really great posability options. His mouth does open, and that's neat as well. So this is literally the difference between these two figures. This one scales incredibly well with all your other Masterpiece figures. This one is a weird, tiny little addition to your collection that's more of an oddity now than anything. This is great, this is shit. This guy has rendered you absolutely obsolete. So I do want to say thank you for Reprolabels for pretty much enticing me to buy this figure. I don't look back. He's a little pricey for what you get. He runs about 60 bucks, but it is a Masterpiece bot. I do feel like it's completely worth buying. One of the downsides to the Reprolabel set is it does make his Jaguar mode a little less sleek, a little less black, but it does add the Decepticon logos on the side, and I do kind of feel like it adds a lot of neat detail. I also like that it adds the silver on his paws here to give him sort of claws. All in all, I highly recommend this figure. I feel like if you collect Masterpiece figures, this belongs in your collection next to Soundwave. It looks fantastic. He looks great sitting on the shelf. Honestly, that's about all I can say. I give this guy a 9 out of 10. I really can't recommend this enough. for me, it's a no-brainer to own, and I wouldn't have had it not been for the sticker set, which is why I'm talking about that so much, because I really didn't give this figure a second thought. But now that I own it and I have the stickers on it, I absolutely love it, and I wouldn't ever give it up. And I'm definitely gonna buy the laser beak that MMC is creating in the same kind of style as this. I do feel like he looks a little goofy with his big ass feet, but I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt because this was such a home run. I'm probably gonna buy that too. So that's it. That's my review of MMC's Jaguar, aka Masterpiece Ravage. Thank you for sticking around this long. I have a bunch of unboxings on my channel that are just going up if you want to watch some of those. I also just did a contest with my friend Zach, who I do bots and shots with, showing off his collection, thanking over 1,000 of you guys for subscribing to my channel. And as a thank you, we're doing a contest. So go ahead, I'll put a link at the end and down in the description to that video if you want to watch it, comment, and go ahead and enter that contest if you want to win a box of stuff from me and Zach. Thanks for watching this, and that's it. Bye. Don't talk to me or my son ever again.